Yo, so this is unique. Usually I'm the one in the Las Vegas studio joined by someone on Zoom or StreamYard. Now we had to change it around. I'm out of state. In the gorgeous video podcast studios in Las Vegas is AEW's Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio, I apologize for me not being in the studio, but how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you.
No, and I know you're on your press run. AEW Collision is coming to Henderson Dollar Loan Center February 10th, big game weekend. First and foremost, how do you feel about American football, out of curiosity?
I watch it. Go Lions.
Claudio said I'm indifferent.
So I don't have a team, right? So it's kind of hard to follow it, and I feel a lot of American football is very much based on tradition and family and that stuff. So to me, I'm kind of, just kind of watching the big games. I'm more of a actual football fan.
I feel, he's like, we like to call that soccer over here. Thank you very much. I know that you're an avid coffee drinker. So as we start this interview, I need to be honest with you. I'm not a coffee drinker. Does that make you think of me any differently?
No, because I don't judge people by that. Like if you don't like coffee, that's fine. I don't like beer. You don't judge me because of that either. So
I don't like beer either, and there we go. We found common ground. Let's get into everything in AEW. I guess we'll start out with the roster. Of course, you got Samoa Joe's now the AEW champion, correct? You got your arch enemy, your guy Eddie Kingston with the Triple Crown. But you just look at it throughout the roster and even the Continental Classic and everyone that was participating in that. Like if someone had to describe to me what's going on with AEW, one of the first words I'd use is physicality. It's hard-hitting action whenever you're tuning in, and that's what we're going to see at the Dollar Loan Center. How do you feel about this roster as it's currently constructed?
I mean, there's, like you said, it's hard hitting, and you can write down the roster and throw a dart at it, and you have an awesome competitor, right? Like if you can throw two darts at it, and you have a match that you want to see. So I feel like that's what's going on, and it's kind of, it felt like there was a reset button hit and just a strong push right out of the gate for this year, and that's what you're going to see. At the Dollar Loan Center in Vegas, or in Henderson for Collision. I kind of said it's almost like the appetizer for your Super Bowl weekend. You go there, you get your party started, because in AEW you never know what's going to happen, and the roster is just stacked from top to bottom. And the atmosphere that AEW brings, that is just very, very passionate and very unique to a wrestling live event. And if you've never seen wrestling live, that's how you want to see wrestling.
I do want to ask you one question that kind of seems, I hope this makes sense as it comes out of my mouth, so let me just say it. To you, what matters more, being the champion or being the best?
Being the best. That's a standard I set for myself. If I am the champion or not, I'm the guy that you want to be in the ring with, to test yourself, to test your limits, to see if you've got what it takes. I don't need to have a championship belt to perform at my best. I don't need to have that to train harder, to keep pushing myself. And I feel like that to me is more important. Almost, like, not to saying that, like, I would, that's what I strive for, to be a champion. But in order to be that, you have to carry yourself and act like one at all time.
And as the years closed out, it kind of looks like, I guess you could say you, of course, your counterpart, Jon Moxley, even guys like Orange Cassidy, you guys were really, for lack of a better term, the workhorses of the company. I think you're at the top at how many matches that you competed in last year.
I am the top.
He said I'm one. Let me correct myself. As the man who competed in the most AEW and ROH matches, was that something that was taxing on your body, or was it just a surprising thing when someone told you and you're like, oh,
Yeah, I was surprised when I was told that. I always used to be in the top 5 or top 10 of most matches wherever I was. That was up to 200 matches a year for like 4 or 5 years straight. So when somebody told me I was again the top with, so to be fair, Orange Cassidy had the most AEW matches. I had the most AEW and ROH matches combined. But the most matches, even more than me and Orange, was Sky Blue. So, like, props to her, because to me, that's how you get better. That's how you show that you want it. That's how you that's the fire, that's the drive, that's what you have. So, people talk a lot, especially nowadays. People just talk a lot, complain a lot. But you have to walk the walk in order to talk the talk.
No, absolutely, and I think it's been cool. You've wrestled across the world. You've gone throughout the world how many times, right? And now you're in this position and you've made a name for yourself. And I think it's so unique. Like right now in 2024, you can see professional television on cable 6 days a week. You can make your name from anywhere, thankfully, because of social media. One of the good parts about it. As you see the industry and see the things that even AEW last year at Wembley Stadium, I know that was probably a dream come true for you. Like, how does it feel to know that business is booming?
It's great. It's awesome to be in that boom period, because, like you said, there's wrestling on TV six days a week. You can watch wrestling anywhere that you want on your phone, any promotion in the world, technically. So you will find something that you like, and that is awesome, and that is great. For people to make a name for themselves, for people to put in the work to get themselves out there, and it's great for the fans to just enjoy it, and it's kind of fun because you'll find something that you like, and then hopefully you branch out and find something else, and you go down that rabbit hole, and I think that's a great thing.
To you, what makes a great match?
It's the chemistry between the guys in the ring and the crowd. It's the energy of the crowd. And I feel like the crowd is a huge, huge part in it that nobody ever really talks about. But that's why I talk to people about coming to the Dollar Loan Center for Collision, because you are part of it. If you come to a show, you are part of it. Every single person in there is going to be part of every match that's going to be going on that night. I performed in front of nobody during the pandemic, and all those matches, no matter how technically great they were or how fun they were, they lacked the crowd. And to me, if I watch a match back and it is an awesome match, technically high level or whatever you want to call it, in front of 20 people, or you watch a match back that may be not technically the best or whatever you want to say. And this is all very subjective, because it is art as well, right? Like, you have different favorites than I do, and that's completely fine. A mediocre match in front of 1,000, 5,000 people that go crazy is better, because those people go ham, and that's what it's all about. And to be fair, like, that is my opinion. I'm sure there's somebody out there that prefers that can watch wrestling, of two guys wrestling in front of nobody. But to me, the crowd is such a big part of it, and the reaction and the ooh and the commentary and everything, it is all part of it.
To be fair, as a fan, it was a little bit odd watching, with no one there. And, we learned some things that way we could try this and, try to evolve. But yeah, no, a full sold out Dollar Loan Center is what we need in the building. And the reason why I ask you is because, like, I want to know, and sorry if this is like too nerdy of a question, but like, obviously I'll bring up his name again, or you brought up his name earlier, Orange Cassidy. He's not your traditional wrestler. It's something that is very unique. Do you prefer to be put in those types of situations? I mean, look at some of these matches, Blood and Guts, Anarchy in the Arena. These are not traditional things that you get to do every day. Do you appreciate the challenge of having to tell a story through that?
Yes. What is tradition? Tradition is always expanding, right? And especially now, as you said, that there's 6 days of wrestling on TV. So you want to do something that is different, but still, in my personal preference, that is different, but still respectful to the tradition. So that is the challenge, right? What can we do to be different, to keep it fun, to keep it great, to keep the action going, to evolve this business while staying true to the tradition and being respectful towards it. And, someone like Orange Cassidy, he's certainly polarizing. And I think that's good because that means he strikes a nerve, right? And he is extremely good at what he does. And he is different and very entertaining. If I like the guy or not, that's indifferent. And if you see the kids and the people come to the show and they dress like Orange Cassidy, and the place is going crazy when he comes out, and don't let him fool you. He can go. Like, he can go like very few other people can in this business. And I think that's what fools a lot of people. But that is our job to evolve and make it fun and better and trying to find new ways. Also, very, very, very long story for you, very long answer. And it's the same way like with Blood and Guts and stuff like that. It's like, what can we evolve in a positive way?
Well, I mean, it almost had you, well, not Blood and Guts, but Anarchy in the Arena. It was, I believe, Double or Nothing. You were basically out on the strip.
I did. Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, it was Anarchy in the Arena. There's this there's this awesome picture of me giving Matt Jackson a pile driver with the Luxor in the background, and I was like, yes, that's just, again, there's it's moments, right? I feel like one of the, you said earlier, like being the best. To me, being the best, you create moments that people can remember, that people can relate to, that people will talk about it. And of course, being a champion is one of those moments, but there's always a chance to create those moments, no matter what that may be. And I feel like Anarchy in the Arena was one of those moments of just, if you were there live or if you've seen it on TV, you're just like, whoa, like that was crazy. And that's what we strive to do.
I want to ask you this question, and I'm going to admit this question is going to come off very ignorant and very American, because I want to know, Will Ospreay signed to AEW. The rumors are he'll be coming on in February. And, was there in your career, like, I've done it all over the world, but now I need to do it in America? Not that Will hasn't, because obviously he's done. You guys have the Tokyo Dome. Like, he's done amazingly. So I kind of feel silly asking this, but I have to know, like, was there something to being like, no, I need to do it here?
Yes, that's not a silly question at all. Yes, because there was a moment for me where I think it was towards the end of my Ring of Honor run, the first time right before I signed with WWE, where it's like, okay, I've done this, I've done that. What would the logical next step be as a challenge? Because I want to keep growing as a person, as a performer, as a wrestler. What would the next step be? What's the next challenge? The next big step was WWE. I was like, okay, if I want to do this at a higher level that I've been doing so far, if I want to learn from the absolute best and be around the best and measure myself against the best, where do I go? And that's WWE. And now, there's obviously AEW. That's why I wanted to come to AEW, because I want to grow as a wrestler, as a person, and measure myself against the best. So I'm sure there was something for Will where it's like, okay, like you said, Tokyo Dome, right? Like New Japan. He's been there for, I believe it was 7+ years. There's the same thing of like, hey, I've done this. I know I can do this. If I want to challenge myself, that's always the scary part, right? It's like, do you choose comfort or do you want to challenge yourself and take that leap of faith?
And that's the advice that you would give him. Not that he's asking for it, but would be take that leap of faith.
If you want to grow as a performer, you have to take that leap of faith. You have to face new challenges, and he didn't have to ask me. He figured it out himself. That's why he's coming to AEW. I mean, like, that's just the person that the performer he is. I don't know him that well, but it's like he looks for new challenges, right? Like every match, he wants to be better. He wants to impress people. He wants to give them something to remember. And that's why he figured his next step is coming to AEW. And, like you said, like, that has nothing to do with it, American or anything. The biggest wrestling markets is in America. So if you want to be part of the big wrestling companies, you come to America.
To close this out, I want to talk about Bryan Danielson really quick. Obviously, this is the last year. We're in the midst of it, of his last full-time year. And you get to be right by his side. And I know you have a lot of respect and admiration for him. And so should everyone else that enjoys wrestling, quite frankly. My question, though, is, do you recall the first time you met him?
Yes. I think the first time I've met him was in Hanover, Germany, when he wrestled in a tent. And that was the big deal. Like, it was like a circus tent. Like, it was a big tent. And they had like a 2 or 3 week tournament. And he came in to wrestle, I want to say, Robbie Brookside. And I met him there for the first time. I think it would have been 2002, 2003. And then I met him again at WXW in Germany, and then, Independence in the United States. So I've known him for a very long time.
Wow, that's incredible. Before we get out of here, I do want to just, if you could tell Jon Moxley to stop using forks, I would appreciate that. Please, just like, come on, man, what's going on? No one's going to tell him to chill out. None of you guys.
Hey, I'm nobody's dad, right? Christian's role in AEW. Here's the beauty about Jon Moxley. Mox is going to do what Mox is going to do. And that's him. So, and that's awesome. And like, that's what makes him so special. He is so, he's like John Wayne, right? Like, he's like James Dean. He's just that cool guy that, like, he's just cool. Like, no matter what he does, like, he can just come in and wear like whatever, and you're just like, yeah, that guy's cool. Like, I don't know. That's just my impression of him. So, hey, if he wants to use a fork, I'm like, all right, I'm on your team. So you, you go.
He's like, don't use that on me. We are straight. Listen, Claudio, I know you guys.
Same team.
I know you guys had to drive out to the studio. Sorry I couldn't be there. We'll make up for it. February 10th, AEW Collision. Be sure to get your tickets, AEW Tix. We will talk to you soon, my friend. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.